comic book fans, welcome to another exciting edition of Cammy's Comic Corner. I am your host, as always, Cammy. I'm a little hungover, so I'm going to try to make this episode as quick as possible. And thanks again to Lobster Johnson for filling in for me for last week. Thanks, I really appreciate that. Really, see that, Lobster Johnson? See that? Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot. So, moving on to the pick of the week. From DC Comics, we have The Flash number 5, written by Geoff Johns and art by Francis Manapul. Now, this is continuing on with the whole Rogues versus the Renegades, with Barry right in the middle, trying to figure out who these the Mirror Master people are and why they want to kill Iris, and let alone why is he being accused of murder in the future. Well, the top keeps telling Barry that they can change the future. All they have to do is just make sure that the Rogues don't break the glass, where you see big old glassing break in case of Return of the Flash. And so, while they're trying to prevent this from happening, it's the Rogues versus the Renegades, just fire and action and fighting out in the streets. And Barry gets right in the middle of it, trying to keep both sides at bay. You get Digger, Captain Boomerang, trying to, you know, do his own thing, and then he gets called away from his White Lantern ring. But basically, Barry's caught off guard because the glass is about to break. He gets shoved into it by the top, and it's like looking in looking through a looking glass, as it were. And he's going through all these different memories, and while he's caught off guard, that's when the Renegades get him, trap him, and then take him to the future to go on trial. But he realizes that he now knows who murdered the Mirror Master. I'm sorry, it was the Mirror Lords that they're trying to prevent. Mirror Master is like the own Mirror Master that was killed. But yes, he knows who killed him. It was the Top, and then the Top is right in front of Iris. She wants her to destroy this evidence that she's been working on to clear his name for what we don't know yet. So it's just so much fun, this book, every single time. It's not only Geoff's great story, but Francis Manapul's gorgeous art, and the colors really popped in this issue especially. So if you want a good, clean, fun book, The Flash is right there, waiting for you. Pick up, read, enjoy. Now on to the Fast Five. First up from Marvel, we have The Hulk number 25. Now, it's a new creative team being written by Jeff Parker and Gabriel Hardman on art. And you might recognize these two names. They do the Atlas series that I'm so crazy about. And just seeing Gabriel Hardman's art on the Hulk, the Red Hulk specifically, it is just gorgeous. Very well put together and established creative team for this title. You have Thunderbolt Ross realizing that he can never turn back into Thunderbolt Ross because he's been declared dead. He'd be on trial for treason, etc. So Captain America, or I'm sorry, Steve Rogers and Bruce Banner, they have their own little plans for him. They're going to keep control of him and when he's ready to cooperate and send him on all these different missions, because when the leader and MODOK, when they were fearing that they might die from that whole big World War Hulks event, they had a backup plan. It was going to be called Scorched Earth, where if they didn't, you know, put in their DNA into a computer to let the computer know it's still alive, all these events around the world would start happening. And sure enough, they are starting to happen. One of them is even in San Diego, my own hometown here. And so Thunderbolt Ross Red Hulk is sent off to go fight whatever is thrown at them. And meanwhile, while he's trying to keep this whole prison break under control, the Iron Man doesn't get the memo from Steve Rogers saying, hey, listen, he's on our side now, and now those two start to fight, and then the whole prison is compromised, and even Iron Man's armor is compromised. So it was really fun stuff. In the backup, there's the fight happening with A-Bomb in San Diego. I just gotta say, I don't know who this artist is, because it's not Gabriel Hardman, but the San Diego backgrounds, like the buildings and whatnot, not San Diego. Not so much whatsoever, and the mountains aren't even that close. I mean, I'm just saying. Quick Google image search for San Diego background will, backdrop will show you the classic buildings that you do see when you think of San Diego. So you know, that was a thumbs down just from my San Diegan perspective. But it's a great book nonetheless, with the whole Jeff Parker and Gabriel Hardman part. Next up from Vertigo, we have Fables number 98. Almost to issue 100. It's just amazing how long and how great this series still is after all these many issues. In this one, we finally have Rose Red getting out of bed, and she is going to be the leader of the farm again. And so she has this whole announcement saying, listen, I understand that people have been trying to run for mayor while I've been in bed mourning Boy Blue. That's all not going to happen because I'm still here. So Geppetto, like A, you're not going to be mayor, and B, your little bodyguards aren't allowed on the farm, so they're going to have to go back from whence they came. And they try to argue with her about that, but she says, listen, I got my little pet bird dragon here, Clara, who's going to burn down your grandfather tree if you try to, you know, fuck with me. Meanwhile, she's hearing all the complaints that she's been missing over the past couple of weeks from all the different villagers, or the occupants of the farm, describing, you know, what needs to be done, who's a menace, yada yada yada. And so she makes an announcement that she's going to be joining the little boy blue cult, has the whole blue handkerchief around her neck, but says, listen, we're not going to just sit around and wait for him to come, if he does come back, to solve all of our problems and kill Mr. Dark. We have to, or the Dark Man, we have to take that into our own hands. And meanwhile, while this is going on, Bellflower, aka the young Totenkinder, comes back to say she's going to duel the Dark Man one-on-one, because they don't need to figure out how to put him back in the box to keep him, you know, buried for the rest of the eternity. They just need to get rid of him and kill him now and let the future people worry about it. That's their problem, not theirs. So it is a great issue. Can't wait to see. I'm sure the fight's going to be happening at issue 100. It's supposed to be some gigantic event, and I can't wait. This is a good precursor to it. Go pick it up. Next up from DC, we have Green Lantern Corps number 52. In this issue, we have the final showdown between the Lanterns versus Cyborg Superman. It was just always a great fight. I love Hank Henshaw. So we have Boudica is dying. Her battery has been ruptured, and you know, if they can't get rid of it or sustain it, it's going to kill her. And so, thankfully, thanks to John Stewart's little handiwork, she survives, and now she's no longer an Alpha Lantern. Like, she has all of her memories back, her personality back, and so they try to get all the Grendons, which are the robot people of this planet, to rise up. There's like billions of them against Cyborg Superman, just to show Cyborg Superman that they mean business and he is no longer welcomed here. So they do, while they're doing this, Ganthet has successfully done surgery on another Lantern, Alpha Lantern, and has removed her battery, and she is back to her normal self. So Cyborg Superman's ecstatic about this because now he can finally die, which has always been his life's mission. So they go and Cyborg Superman holds off the billions of Grendons because he can control machines, but then there's a showdown between him and the Lanterns, and he's like, oh, this is useless, you can go ahead and kill me, I'm not going to die. But when he dies, he tries to inhabit Boudica's robotic corpse and take that over, but it's a fight between her willpower and Hank Henshaw within her, and Boudica, since she's a warrior to begin with since birth, she's able to kill Hank Henshaw, and she claims that she's killed him for good this time. But knowing the Cyborg Superman, there's always some loopholes. He's never going to get that final rest in peace that he's always been looking for. But because of his heroic actions and her heroic actions, Boudica and Ganthet are now part of the Green Lantern Honor Guard. So it's like, bravo. Can't wait to see what you guys are up to next. It's been a good arc with Tony Bedard and Ardian Sif. It's just good, fun stuff. It's still the Green Lantern Corps that I loved with Gleason and Peter J. Tomasi. So if you've been thinking and holding back, do yourself a favor and pick it up. It's a good series. Next up from Icon, we have Nemesis number 3. Now, they captured Nemesis last issue, and they're not killing him because they want to know where the President is. The President is still MIA, and only Nemesis knows who it is, or knows where he is. So now, while transporting him to the prison, they don't know this, but Nemesis has his own little goons on the inside as well, and because of it, he's able to escape his little Hannibal Lecter type restraints, and then he goes into a big, huge fight against all the prison guards, killing all of them, releasing all the prisoners, and then everyone's in their own little private getaway car, so everyone, it's just massive chaos and confusion. They don't know where he went, and he has Chief Maru's kids, and now the only way he's going to get them back is if he reveals to them 3 different secrets, like very deep, dark secrets. And so Captain Maru, to get his kids back, he does. He tells them the first one is his wife has slept with his partner for many months, and he knew about the affair. The second is his daughter had an abortion at a very young age, and they kept it hush-hush because they wanted her to go to college, and he didn't want that on his record. And third, his son is a homosexual. Actually, I flipped 2 and 3, but yes, his son's a homosexual, and that's their big secret. So Nemesis goes, okay, you know, I'll release your kids just like I told you I would. And they are unharmed. Well, almost unharmed. You see headlines everywhere saying that Nemesis has taken the homosexual son's sperm and has knocked up his own sister and he's booby-tracked the womb that if they try to have another abortion, they abort this gay, incestual baby, you know, everyone will die kind of situation. But now Chief Morrow has learned who Nemesis is, and now next issue we're going to go see him put the smackdown on Nemesis. Mono e mono. And it's just a great fucked up issue. Mark Millar and Steve McNiven are doing a great job on this series, despite it coming out, you know, months in between. But yeah, it's going to be collected. They're already working on a movie of it, so, you know, you can read all of it here first. And it looks like it's going to actually be out before the movie this time. So, you know, good stuff. And finally from Marvel this week, we have Secret Avengers number 5. Now, I've said it before, and I'll say it again, this is my favorite of the Avengers titles. Brubaker knows his shit, and we get so many different artists on this issue. We get David Aja, Michael Lark, and Stefano Guadagno. So it's good, oh, it's just every page. Even if you're not enjoying the story, you should be enjoying the art for sure. We have Max Fury. Who's Max Fury? He is a life model decoy that was... he was given Nick's old memories and all of his training, and pretty much brought to life by Zodiac. And then he's been a problem for S.H.I.E.L.D. and Nick for many years because he thinks he is the real Nick Fury. And so while he's always breaking out of S.H.I.E.L.D., the S.H.I.E.L.D. prisons, he's going to save the world. Like, he is killing Hydra agents, AIM agents, destroying terrorist plots. Like, he is doing all the stuff Nick Fury thinks, or Nick Fury would do. So they keep having to capture him, and then finally Nick catches up to him, and they have a chat, and he says, like, you're not real, even though you might have a conscience, and think for yourself. You're still just my life model decoy, and we're gonna have to, you know, since you know all my deep dark secrets, we have to destroy you. So he even watches this guy get destroyed and incinerated, but apparently it wasn't the right life model decoy. It was switched at the end, and it was switched by the Shadow Council, being led by John Steele, and who was back in the Marvels project, also by Brubaker. So just planting seeds for future events. Pretty cool stuff. And so now Max Fury his mission is for the Shadow Council to keep dibs on the Secret Avengers. And so now they're trying to figure out who is the Shadow Council, who is this Max Fury, and why is he going to be a threat to us in the future? It was a very good issue, just giving little backstories, behind-the-scenes stuff. So now we're going to have two different organizations, both operating in secret, battling against each other. It's great, and no one in the 616 universe knows this except for the players involved. Good stuff. Well, comic book fans, that does it this week for Cammy's Comic Corner. If you want more Cammy's Comic Corner goodness, head on over to www.cammyscomiccorner.com. From there, you can read the Book of the Month reviews, listen to the Geeky Talkie audio podcast that I do, and also, if you want to buy the iPhone/iPad app of Cammy's Comic Corner, you're helping support the show, and you're getting a cool app for your phone. Also, if you want, you can write me a review on iTunes. It'll help many other comic book people find the show and enjoy it as well. So if you want to help me out some way, that'd be an A+ in my book. Also, if you like any of the kick-ass t-shirts that you see me wearing, R.I.P. Air, it was a great series, head on over to deadlinegraphics.net and send Kelly an email. He does the best of custom-made t-shirts, and he does all your favorite, you know, Marvel, DC, Dark Horse shirts as well. There's only one name that I trust when it comes to comic book t-shirts, and that's Kelly at deadlinegraphics.net. And also a big shout out to Rising Sun Creations at rsc-online.com. They specialize in the best of U.S. comic books, manga, and collectible toys imported straight from Japan. All located at their store at Mission Valley, if you're in the San Diego area, or on their online store at rsc-online.com. Thanks again for being a sponsor. Well, comic book fans, that does it this week. I am going to go drink lots of fluids and get some albondiga soup in me. And albondiga soup is meatball soup, but in Spanish, albondigas means cure for hangovers, or according to my 7th grade Spanish teacher, Mr. Merrill. So I gotta take his advice. It's been helping me out this far. Take it easy. I'm gonna go watch the Chargers game now that the blackout's been lifted, and you should be watching football too. I'm tired. Go away.